Well, the government has just been defeated by 15 votes in the Lords on its move to cap benefits at £26,000. Church of England bishops amended the bill to ensure that families would continue to get child benefit above and beyond that limit. But ministers say it's unfair anyone should get more on benefits than the average working family earns. Nearly 70,000 families will be affected by the changes, and charities are warning that children could be made homeless. Next, Krishnan will be discussing both welfare reform and executive pay with the Business Secretary. But first, here's our political editor, Gary Gibbon.
Yeah, help girls.
Aisha Hall separated from her husband 6 years ago and now brings up their 5 children alone. She still lives in the house they used to rent together in Surrey. She works a few hours a week as a school lunch assistant, but she's largely dependent on benefits. And when you add together her housing benefit, child benefit and other welfare payments, she gets about £2,000 a year more than the new £26,000 benefit cap the government wants to introduce.
Let's say it's capped. They cut down the amount of money you've got here. It won't cover the rent. Where do you go? Right. Where do you go?
Well, then you can't pay the rent, can you?
Where do you go?
Well, you get evicted. And where do you go? You don't go. I don't know. Do my kids end up in social services? I don't know. Do I end up on the street?
The government says it chose a cap of £26,000, what any household can receive in benefits, because it's the same as average earnings after tax. The government says it'll mainly hit out-of-work families with 3 or more children in areas with high rents, like London. 67,000 households could have their benefits cut back by an average of £87 a week. The department estimates 220,000 children could be affected.
£26,000 in welfare, in benefit, that is equivalent to a salary of £35,000. Now, there are many people in this audience here who are not earning £35,000. Are you happy that your taxes are going towards families where no one is working and they're earning over £26,000 in benefits? Is that fair? No. I don't think it's fair either. That's why it's right to have a... Thank you for that. I think...
David Cameron's convinced he's got public opinion on his side, and any concessions before this cap becomes law are likely to be relatively minor.
No one on benefits can get more than 26,000 into their household. Is that a good idea?
Yes, I think so.
Why?
Because I think too much is spent on benefits, that's why. For people that don't work.
They're going to cap it at that so you can't get above it.
Well, I don't think they should. 26,000 seems a lot of money to me for any benefit.
The government says the cap will save the country around £300 million a year and will force claimants like Aisha Hall to work more hours, move to smaller, cheaper rentals, or both.
There'll be people out there who say you should either work more, bring in more income, or downsize to a smaller place. What's your answer to them?
I'd love to do both. I'd love to work. I want to work. As I said, I do have a part-time job. If I could work more, that will allow me, that when my kids are ill, not to go in and to look after my kids, then I am more than happy to. If they want to downsize me, please downsize me. I beg the council, find me a smaller property, a more, something that I can afford. Because
and what do they say? What did the council say?
They said there wasn't any housing that could they could put me in. They can't house a family with 5 children.
I believe that it is right to test the opinion of the House, and I beg to move.
The House of Lords is now voting on an attempt led by bishops, supported by Lib Dem and Labour peers, to raise the cap. The government says even if it passes, they'll reverse it in the Commons.
If you're living with a significant number of children in housing which has to provide the rent with fixed outgoings, this will create very substantial pressures. And people who are in work, who work hard and do their best to manage their finances, are entitled to expect that if they lose their job, the state will be there to support them and their children. We're supposed to be all in this together.
Coalition sources say the only concessions being talked about for claimants like Aisha Hall will be transitional money to help move to the cap. Both the Lib Dems and the Tories insist there must be a cap, and families like Aisha's will have to find a way to live within it.